I think it was Jeff McClain writing about this yesterday, saying how joint practices are a good opportunity for the Eagles to go out there and scout who the Patriots have. For instance, the year they traded for Jay Ajayi, they had the Miami Dolphins in town for joint practices. And what do you know? They ended up trading for Jay Ajayi, who was with the Dolphins at the time of the joint practices. But that goes twofold, like this nice photo, courtesy of Jamie Apodi from 6ABC. Jamie Apodi posted this picture of Zach Ertz talking to Bill Belichick, introducing Bill Belichick to his lovely wife, Julie. And then Jamie posted this, the story along with it. Zach Ertz warmly introducing Patriots coach Bill Belichick to his wife, Julie. Coach Ertz, Coach to Ertz, excuse me. I'm still going to get you someday. Ertz with a smile. Belichick responds by saying how he wants two first round picks, though, and two of my grandchildren. Tampering. Tampering? A little bit? Tampering? Maybe? Hey, whatever makes both parties happy. The Eagles getting what they want and Zach Ertz eventually getting what he wants. Thought that was a little interesting little tidbit from yesterday's practice. And I heard Jamie Apodi actually say that during Action News last night. And I didn't know if she was serious or not. I hadn't seen that tweet at that point. And then I was like, let me see if Jamie tweeted anything about it. And boy, did she. Zach Ertz and Bill Belichick kicking it, as they would say. Jalen Mills was back yesterday. Nelson Aguilar was back yesterday. Both are members of the Patriots. Both talked about their experiences in Philadelphia, winning a Super Bowl against the Patriots. It was all warm and fuzzies for the most part. Nelson Aguilar did have a drop at practice, though, yesterday. So he was good everywhere else, but I just knew I had to pass along the fact that he had a drop. But they were both back in Philadelphia yesterday. Jalen Mills says that these guys seem like they have a big chip on their shoulder. There's a lot more confidence in this camp than there was last year, and that's really what it's all about. And yes, the Green Goblin still with the green hair. Just always going to be a part of it here in Philadelphia, I guess. So that's pretty much what happened yesterday at practice. A couple other things took place yesterday. One was one hell of a practice yesterday. One hell of a practice by Eric Wilson, apparently. Eric Wilson had two big plays, both in the red zone. One, he deflected a pass, which was all on him. Good for him. The other, he intercepted a pass from Cam Newton in the red zone, thanks to some pressure up front by Javon Hargrave, the Eagles defensive lineman, Eagles defensive tackle, who is looking to have a big bounce-back year from not playing so much last year. But Eric Wilson had a couple of big plays for you yesterday. Alex Singleton was supposedly all around the football yesterday, including dropping a pass on an 11-on-11 drill from Cam Newton that he should have been able to reel in as an interception. Just a couple of news and notes from yesterday's practice. And Devontae Smith was back in a limited role. How limited, you might ask? Well, when his quarterback, Jalen Hurts, was asked about Devontae Smith being out there yesterday, he said, I forgot he was out there. Because he was just in limited one-on-one drills, if that, throughout practice yesterday. So a lot of stuff going on. Jalen Reagor had a decent practice, actually going up against Devin McCourty and coming down with a nice bomb of a pass. He had bobbled it a little bit, but he brought it in eventually and was able to come up with a big play for the Eagles offense against the Patriots. So a pretty busy day as far as yesterday did go. Pretty busy day. A couple other things I wanted to highlight was this. Jordan Schultz, mostly known as an NBA writer, has been doing a lot of stuff for ESPN lately. First Take, he's been filling it on First Take. And I thought this nugget was interesting. And if you can make this out, here's what it says. There's a fast-growing sentiment among Eagles players that Jalen Hurts is undoubtedly the franchise quarterback. His work ethic, intangibles, and overall skill level have captured the entire locker room. Players I've spoken with are consistently blown away by Hurts on and off the field. That's some high praise right there. And it's not starting quarterback. It's franchise quarterback. That's pretty amazing. That's quite the jump. I mean, some people are banging drums for the Eagles to at least name him the starter, name him the number one quarterback, whatever you want to call it. And it's uncertain whether or not he's even going to play come Thursday night. But Jalen Hurts, the franchise quarterback. Here's what I like. And this goes back to Adam Kaplan with us Friday, and I was alluding to it yesterday, that we haven't heard anything about any new reports about Deshaun Watson being traded. We haven't heard. It's really quiet right now on the Watson front, as I said yesterday. And now this story comes out about how players are really taking to Jalen Hurts, how they really like Jalen Hurts. And you saw the picture yesterday with Mac Jones as well about all the Alabama representation in this locker room. Players like them some Jalen Hurts, and that's good to see because if I have my druthers, he's your QB number one when the season starts and hopefully for all 17 games this season. Now, he's got to validate that as the season actually starts. Can't get all hyped about just preseason, but he's got to be able to validate that when the season starts up. So we'll see how that goes. Now, speaking of the man himself, Jalen Hurts did address the media yesterday, and he talked about the confidence he has growing in his young receiver. As a young quarterback, getting confidence in his young receivers. Here is Jalen Hurts on that.
I think by the day, I've always kind of mentioned it, but I've talked about how repetition brings confidence and it brings comfort, and it's a real thing. And I see it in all of the receivers, see it in everybody. The more reps they get in the offense, the more we're being coached, the better we are. So it's always an uphill climb, and we just want to continue to take those steps every day.
That's all you can ask for. Getting better every single day. He was asked about being able to have these types of practices against Bill Belichick's Patriots, and he said he loves that whole thing. He loves being able to do that, and you really got to look at it as a glass half full type of thing. You're getting an opportunity to take on another opponent. Now, this is going to be an interesting thing because this is going to come up in my conversation with Hugh today because he talks about battling Trey Thomas in practice. He talks about battling John Running, although not as often because that's not where he lined up. But he talks about battling those guys throughout practice. And yesterday, Lane Johnson addressed the media where he was asked about Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham came in at the 99th best player in the NFL top 100. We mentioned the guys for yesterday. You also had Jason Kelce on that list, came in at 92, if I'm not mistaken. And Fletcher Cox came in at 63, I believe. So good representation, at least in the top, the 50, what was it, 100 to 50 greatest players in the NFL right now, best players in the NFL right now. And it came out recently as well. I think Pro Football Focus put out this number that Brandon Graham was the highest rated defensive end in all of football last year, or the Eagles' highest rated player last year. The Eagles' highest rated player in all last year is what it was. So all that's great stuff. Lane Johnson has to face off against, has to step to the line against Brandon Graham every single day at practice. And it's the guy he sees the absolute most. Lane Johnson was asked about Brandon Graham's work ethic and facing Brandon Graham every single day at practice. Here's what Lane had to say about it.
Yeah, anytime you're going against a great player, that's going to make you better. So anytime BG beats me, very rarely, but he has to earn it. So he knows that. But, yeah, I've been going against him, going on my 9th year, and he's a great player. So I know he trains me well, and I train him well. And I think the reward is when I see him teeing off on other tackles and other offensive linemen, I guess I took a little bit of part in that. Same way for him.
Are you getting annoyed by him talking so much?
No, he's talked so much crap over the years. It's just I'm just used to it.
I love any highlight you can see of Brandon Graham talking smack. One of my favorites was last year in San Francisco, where Fletcher Cox tells him, hey, man, calm it down a little bit here. It's a big part of the game. You need to calm it down. I think they were coming up on a 4th down, and they wanted to get off the field. And literally, Fletcher Cox is like, yo, BG, quiet, man. And BG's like, sorry. If you know, we've had him on the show, and the man is just high motor all the time. Motor mouth, motor player. That's Brandon Graham in a nutshell. And for Lane Johnson to square off against that, it's no wonder Lane has become such a great player, facing off against him for the vast majority of his career here in Philadelphia. So you have those practice guys that are going to bring the absolute best out of you. One of the things that Hugh talks about is his relationship with Trey Thomas, not just his friends post-career and while they were playing also, but the guy that he would square up against the vast majority of the time throughout practice, and how Trey would try to bring the best out of Hugh. Very interesting stuff that we'll get into in just a minute here.